मूल निवासी सभ्यता एवं कलाचार के सम्मान में लाखों कार्यकर्ताओं का आगाज, विचार गोष्ठी, साहित्य प्रदर्शनी, चलचित्र प्रदर्शनी, गीत, संगीत, अभिनय, नृत्य कार्यक्रम, खानपान प्रदर्शनी और खेल कौशल प्रदर्शनी के माध्यम से मूल निवासियों के सम्मान में मूल निवासी सभ्यता का आगाज। मूल निवासी सभ्यता संघ का पहला राष्ट्रीय अधिवेशन नागसेन वन परिसर, मिलिंद महाविद्यालय, संभाजीनगर, औरंगाबाद, महाराष्ट्र, 26 एवं 27 अक्टूबर 2022। आइए हमारे महामानवों के सपनों का भारत स्थापित करने के लिए शामिल हो।
Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, and welcome you all to MNT News Network. This is today is Sunday, and today every Sunday, as you know, we are organizing the special discussions in English. And today also we are going to discuss on very important topic. I request all the viewers who have joined for this particular program to share this particular video on their who are watching on the Facebook. They should share on their timeline so that it will this program is shared to a maximum in their social network. Also, who are watching through YouTube, they are also requested to share this important information on their YouTube channel so that this information is spread to maximum people, because actually there are various issues in the current as far as the political arena is considered. There are various issues that are going on, various questions that have been raised in the mind of the Mulnivasi people, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other backward class people. So in this particular scenario, what should be done and what has earlier happened and why it has happened, the history is very, very important. So today also we are going to discuss on that particular aspect, because yesterday it was 24th September, and 24th September 1932, it was a historical date in the history of India. And as far as the political aspect is considered, it was a very important date, because actually there was a major change in the political arena. And as far as Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's fight was considered for the upliftment of the downtrodden people, for the upliftment of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other backward class people, that impacted a lot, because as you all know, there was a conference, and in 1931, the first roundtable conference, second roundtable conference. So all these conferences were organized, and basic demands were kept by Dr. Ambedkar. And Dr. Ambedkar specifically, put forward the views of the downtrodden people, rights for the downtrodden people. And as we know, as the impact of that one, the Communal Award was awarded on 4th August 1932. So we are going to discuss on this particular topic of Poona Pact. And today we had with us our distinguished guest speaker, B.D. Borkar sir, who is former National President of PPID. Sir, welcome to MNT News Network Studio. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, Jai Mulnivasi. Yeah. Sir, today we would like to discuss on a very important topic, because yesterday it was 24th of September, and 24th of September 1932, it was a historical date as far as the political aspect of India's scenario is considered. So, as we know that in the first roundtable conference, second roundtable conference in 1931-32, various developments had happened, and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was fighting for getting the rights, political rights for the downtrodden people, the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes people. And as a result of that, it resulted in awarding as the Communal Award in 1931. So basically, in 1932. So when this Communal Award was awarded as per the demand of Dr. Ambedkar. Suddenly, immediately after that, we see that within 1 month there was various developments within India, and it resulted in the Poona Pact. So basically, first we would like to know from you about this separate electorate that was awarded in the form of communal award, and subsequent development of this Poona Pact. Means basically, what development has happened during this particular period, and what were the differences between the separate electorate and the Poona Pact, the reservation of seats, political rights, which we got through the Poona Pact. Though there was a difference, basically in communal award we were getting 80 seats, and in the Poona Pact there was a reservation of 148 seats. But still, Dr. Ambedkar was not happy, and he was more focused for separate electorate. So we would like to know from you about this particular aspect of separate electorate and the Poona Pact.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me and put my views on Poona Pact. What are the historical developments during that period? I will go a little back. See, in the history, what is the history behind of the Poona Pact? Are the political history of India right from 1885. See what has happened in 1857. There was a revolt against the British Empire in India. Now, this revolt was a public revolt, and most of our people have taken part into it because they were not getting their basic rights in India. And therefore, you see what happened. The Congress was formed in the 1885. The idea of forming this was formed by Mr. Hume, who was an ICS officer in British India and working in India. Now, I really do not understand why has he formed the Congress at the first instant. See, if he was an ICS officer and working for the British India, and if there was a revolt in India by the public, his job was to control the public, stop the revolt. That was his job basically. But still, he formed the Congress in 1885, and Mr. Surendranath Banerjee was appointed as the first president of the Congress. What I feel, he did it at the instance of the Congress. He did it at the instance of the British government. Because you see, the British government felt that if such a revolt takes place, then they will not be able to rule India for a longer duration, which they wanted to rule. And therefore, there is a historical evidences available on this, and I have brought it out in one of my booklet, Separate Electorate and the Minorities and the Separate Electorate. It is worth reading. It is a 30-40 page booklet, so one should read that booklet. Now, what has happened? So, to control the revolt, the British government has appointed this A.O. Hume to form the Congress, and he met the educated people in Calcutta, and then Surendranath Banerjee was appointed as the first. Now, the job was, these are all so-called high caste people, amongst the Muslims also, and the so-called Hindus also. They are mostly the Brahmins and the Ashrafs from Muslim community. Now, they wanted that the power should be shared with them. There is a statement of Mr. Gokhale. He said, why a bureaucracy should be appointed, British bureaucrats should be appointed for running the affairs of India. Now, thereafter, after forming a Congress, there were two, though they were Muslims, Ashraf Muslims and the Brahmins were the part of the Congress. But within Congress, the Muslims wanted more power with them, and the so-called Brahmins also wanted more power with them. Now, this is a sort of a difference of opinion within the Congress amongst the Muslims and the Brahmins. So thereafter, in 1906, Muslim League was formed by the Muslim members who were a part of the Congress also. And then they become a separate part. Some of the Muslims, they remained with the Congress, and some of the Ashraf's community among the Muslims, they formed the Muslim League in 1906. And in 1909, you see, the British government has given a separate electorate to the Muslims. And when the separate electorate was given to the Muslims, so it means the British government was trying to give some weightage to the Muslims. Therefore, the Brahmins amongst the Congress, they also wanted what will happen to the so-called Hindus, means only what will be the fate of Brahmins. So therefore, in 1915, the Hindu Mahasabha was formed. Now see, there was a tussle between these two, that who should hold ultimately the power share in the say home rule. Subsequently, they have demanded the home rule also. So who should have the better share in the governance in the home? So this is a political background of the country. And then you see, Baba Sahab during that period, he was definitely not in a public life. He was taking his education in abroad, in England also. He was taking education in America, and then he came to England there also. So you see, Lala Lajpat Rai met Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar in Columbia University, most probably, or this London School of Economics, of the two. And then he told Baba Sahib to join Congress. So Baba Sahib has told him, no, I am not here to join any political party. I have come for my education, and I will definitely complete my education here. So thereafter, Baba Sahib in 1924, if I am not wrong, he formed a Bahishkrit Hitkarni Sabha, a purely socio-cultural organization of the untouchables people in India. Now you see, the Congress on one side, Hindu Mahasabha on the other side, and the Muslim a third side, they were working for the political rights for their respective community. And therefore, Baba Sahib felt if at all the power is transferred because of the revolt in the country, then what will be the fate of the untouchables in the in the position of a power transfer by the Britishers to the Indians? So Congress has already demanded a home rule. Motilal Nehru was assigned a responsibility by the Congress Working Committee to prepare a constitution, because I do not remember the name of the British lord who said, he challenged these Congress people. Okay, you wanted a home rule, so you prepare your own constitution and let us know whether you are able to prepare a constitution. So the Congress Working Committee has assigned the responsibility to the Motilal Nehru to prepare a constitution. Now he prepared a constitution, and therein he has said that the power to vote should be restricted to only the educated people, or those who are having the property, or those who are paying the taxes. Now, I would like to just analyze this part of it. Why has he done that? He did it because they were, and this Jawaharlal Nehru was the secretary. Motilal Nehru was the president of that constitution making body, and Jawaharlal Nehru was the secretary. So they knowing very well that their forefathers, say 3,500 years back, they have already taken away our rights of right to education, then right to weapon and right to property. They were very well aware. So if they put these things in the constitution, that those who are only educated, those who are having the property, and those who are paying the taxes, only they will be having a power to vote. So naturally they wanted to protect the rights of their own people, because they were very well knowing the large section of the society, the Shudras and Ati Shudras, they were not educated because their powers were already taken away 3,500 years back. They were not having any property also, and they have no means to fight for their rights. So it was a matter for fighting for the rights of these 3-4 sections of the society, political rights. So Congress for Brahmins, calling themselves to be the secular. Then there is a Hindu Mahasabha, Orthodox Brahmins. Again, they wanted to secure the rights of the Orthodox Brahmins. Then there is a Muslim League. Again, the Ashraf Muslims. They wanted to protect the rights of the high caste Muslims. In this political scenario, what will be the fate of the untouchables, who are near about 15 to 20% in India? That was the consideration of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. And therefore, when the Simon Commission came in India in 1928, all these Congress people have boycotted. But Baba Sahab has faced the Simon Commission and given a representation that our position should be decided before any power is transferred to India, or any home rule sort of a thing which is demanded by the Congress. Before that, our position should be decided in the, our political situation. What will be our position in the Indian political situation? What about our rights and all that? Now, you see, so therefore, since Congress has boycotted this, and Congress was running an agitation against the Britishers, so that you see, Simon Commission could not succeed or take the views of the people, whether they are happy in the India under the rule of the Britishers, in terms of the first Government of India Act 1919. So that they could not succeed to collect the data here, and therefore the round table conference was called. They went back round table. In the first round table conference, you see, it was a round table conference which was basically a call for preparing a constitution for India, amending the first Government of India Act, which will suit to them also, and which will be helpful to the Indians also. So that was the purpose of calling the round table conference, and to prepare a constitution which was subsequently became a second Government of India Act 1935. So during this period, 2 members from the untouchable communities were invited for that round table conference. And there was, first is Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was invited, that is in 1930. And second was Mr. R. Srinivasan. He was from Madras Presidency, and Baba Sahab was from the Bombay Presidency. Now, there, since they were forming a constitution, they were preparing a constitution, so various committees were formed. So Baba Sahab was also a member there of the franchise committee. That is very important. from the political point of view when we are discussing this issue. So Baba Sahab was a member of a franchise committee, and some of the Congress members were also there because they were also the members of the central legislature. Although they have boycotted from here, but some members were there, and these people, Congress people, they have asked for the home rule. Home rule means let the British Empire rule over India. But so far as the running of an administration in India is concerned, that power should be exclusively given to the Indian politicians, and they should be allowed to appoint the officers in the administration. That was their demand. That is what the home rule means. Now, here Baba Sahab, as a member of the franchise committee in 1930, opposed Congress there in the first roundtable conference and said nothing doing unless the adult franchise is given to the Indians, especially those who have acquired the age of 21 years and above. They all should be given the adult franchise. Unless the adult franchise is given, no power should be transferred, which was the demand of the Congress for the power. And ultimately, Britishers have to agree to that. That is how adult franchise has come. Now, thereafter, Baba Sahab realized the whole idea, what he demanded there is social and political rights. See, today in our community, the so-called untouchables, they undermine the political power. If you go to the people here in India and tell them about the political power, that we must capture a political power, they don't talk about the politics. If you are doing something religious work, you come to us, we will give you money, vagera, vagera. But don't talk about the political power. But the first thing which Baba Sahab did is to demand the social and political rights. So he understood the importance of the political rights. The way the Brahmins, the Congress has understood the importance of political rights, and that is why they wanted to debar us from the right to vote. For very same reason, Baba Sahab has understood, unless the political rights are given to us, our fate will be sealed. And that is why he said, nothing doing unless the adult franchise is provided to adult people in India, that is who have acquired the age of 21 years and above. So you see, this is basically a political fight and political rights. Now your point is, what happened to that? So we have got the adult franchise there. Now when they have agreed for the adult franchise in making that second government of India at the proposal stage. Now thereafter, this is in 1930. What happened in 1932? 1932, the Gandhi did not went in the first roundtable conference. Already they had agreed. They had agreed another thing also in the first roundtable conference. Because Baba Sahab was of the opinion, even if we get an adult franchise, we are a minority. Now, as a minority, we will not be able to get our people elected, even if we have got a political right of vote. Our people will not be get elected because we are in a minority. And therefore, he demanded the second right to second vote. He said the whole idea is that our representatives should be there in the house, so that those representatives will fight for our socio-economic rights within the house while framing the various laws. But for our minority character, we will not be able to get our members elected, and that is why Baba Sahab has demanded a separate electorate there in the first roundtable conference. There were a lot of deliberations took place, and after all those deliberations, then Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald was the Prime Minister, Pancham Jaj was the king. They have principally agreed, yes, the position of the untouchables, which Dr. Ambedkar has explained in great detail in the conference, that they must get their rights. And to protect their rights, they must also have their political representation in the provincial assemblies and also in the central assembly. And therefore, they have agreed for the separate electorate. And that is how the untouchables have got right to two votes. One, that they can vote to any candidate in general who is contesting the constituency, and they have got another vote wherein they will vote only to a members of the untouchable community. And if there are more than one untouchable candidate is contesting the election, so whoever gets the maximum votes, he will get elected. In fact, during that period, Baba Sahib had made another suggestion also. That suggests there should be a case of a primary voting. Primary voting means, now you see what is happening in America. Now in America, before the Democrats and Republic, they put their final candidate for a electoral battle there. On the party line, they first elect the person who should be a candidate of their party for fighting a final election for the presidents. So likewise, Baba Sahib has suggested the untouchable people, let all the parties put their candidate from the untouchable community, and only the untouchable people should be allowed to vote them. So only the untouchables will vote to the untouchable candidates irrespective of their party, and whoever gets the maximum vote in that primary election, that should be the candidate of the untouchables for the separate electorate. This is what was decided. Idea was that our honest, sincere people should only go to the provincial assemblies. That was the idea. For this also, in the second roundtable conference, when Gandhi went there, he rejected this demand. He said no, because he also understood what Dr. Ambedkar wanted, and clearly his idea was understood by Gandhi, that he said in that situation, the Congress puppets will not be get elected to the provincial assembly from amongst the scheduled caste, but the right type of people from amongst the scheduled caste will come to a provincial assembly, and they'll be able to protect the rights of the untouchable community while framing the laws. So then he has opposed there. He has opposed tooth and nail, and then ultimately many people know that finally separate electorate, which was given to us by the award, which is also known as a communal award, that we had got it, but then he has opposed tooth and nail. All this political history is given in the what Congress and Gandhi have done to the untouchables. And every educated person from amongst the untouchables, they must read it. Not only the untouchables, even the Shudras should read it. Means so-called OBC people should also must read it. So Actually, idea is to send our right representative in the provincial assemblies and central assembly, so that our rights can be secured. Our socio-economic rights can be secured by framing the laws. That was the principle behind it. Congress does not want such people to be elected there. They wanted puppets there. So, therefore, they have opposed the separate electorate there. And then everybody knows that then he said, I will fight it back at the cost of my life. And he came, and therefore the British government has put him behind the bar here in Poona, Yerwada. And then there that Poona Pact took place. And what was the pact? As you have rightly suggested, you said something 86. It was, I think, if I am not wrong, it was some 77 or something post were available to us in the separate electorate. And Gandhi said, we will give 148 seats. So you see that we have lost 77 independent people who would be fighting for our cause, and we have got 178 puppets of the Congress in the Poona Pact. So what has happened with that? That agreement was there, and in that agreement, Congress has agreed that wherever the scheduled caste candidates are to be contested on those seats, Congress said that they will not contest those seats, so that the whoever among the scheduled caste can get elected from that seat, and Congress will not contest that seat. But it did not happen. After the Second Government of India Act was formed, and we have given up the second vote, and the reservation came in with 148 seats. So only in the Bombay province, Baba Sahab could get his candidates. 13 candidate he could get elected from the Independent Labour Party that was formed in 1937, and party was formed in 1936, and in 1937 provincial elections, 13 scheduled caste candidates are untouchable candidates because they were not thereafter. Since the schedule was formed in 1935, these untouchables were also called as scheduled caste candidates. So in 1937 election, they got elected, 13 candidates. And from the general seat also, Independent Labour Party could win 3 seats. So total 13 seats from Bombay province, he could get elected. Rest of the India, Baba Sahab, whatever the Independent Labour Party has put their candidates, they were not elected. Congress candidates were elected because at the Congress subsequently they have breached the contract. You see, in this central province, one Mr. Khandekar, and in Bombay, Madras province also, I don't remember his name. He was in the advisory committee also, if you read the Constituent Assembly debates. And so they were got elected. One lady also got elected sometimes. I don't have the book here, that is why I could not name them now. But see, Congress has violated the pact.
Right.
This is what has happened. And so what is the outcome? What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? You see, our real candidates, those who will fight for our cause, they were not elected in the provincial assemblies. Now, what happened thereafter? Whereas many scheduled caste candidates were got elected on the Congress ticket, and thereafter in 1942, Cripps committee had come. And before the Cripps committee, again to take the review, what is the position now in India, whether the Congress is having a substantial support of the Indian masses, also whether Dr. Ambedkar who has any substantial support of the masses, are the untouchables all over the India. So Congress could put a view before the Cripps that you see the Dr. Ambedkar has no support. He could not get his people elected all over India except from Bombay Presidency. And that is the report Cripps has submitted to the British Parliament. And thereafter, the cabinet mission was sent in 1946 because the elections were due. Every 10 years they are supposed to take the elections. So elections were due. And Second World War also was going on during that period. So in 1946, the separate electorate which was available, reservation, that was all over. Scheduled caste candidates had no reservation. In 1946 provincial election, they have contested election on the tickets of the Scheduled Caste Federation without reservation, without separate electorate. Whereas the other minorities, especially the Muslim minority and the Sikh minorities, they were having the separate electorate. Now, what happened thereafter? So, on the Scheduled Caste Federation tickets, not a single candidate was elected except Jogendranath Mandal from the Bengal presidency. And thereafter, then Baba Sahib went to the Baba Sahib wanted to be in the constitution making body because he was sure the rights can only be secured from in the forum, not on the roads. Nowadays, our people are trying to fight out on the roads. See, I understand there is a need of the agitation to make your views known to the people, to make your views known to the rulers. But the rights can only be secured in the forum, and therefore the parliament is the forum, provincial assemblies are the forum, and you can get your rights there. And therefore Baba Sahib wanted that if there is this, it was decided by the Britishers that the India should frame the constitution, and India should frame the constitution. So it was almost decided in 1945 that there should be a constituent assembly to frame the constitution. And ultimately, the members who were elected in the provincial assemblies in 1946 election, that is somewhere in February, March 1946, those elections took place. So then these members who were got elected in the provincial assembly, they were allowed to vote for a central assembly. And the central assembly was declared as a constituent assembly because there was no time to take a separate elections all over India to contest the separate elections for the constituent assembly. So the central assembly was declared as a constituent assembly. And as you know that the elections for the Rajya Sabha are taking place where the members of the provincial assembly, now it is called as legislative assemblies, they were allowed to vote to frame to elect the member for the Rajya Sabha nowadays. So that was the situation for electing the members of the central assembly. wherein the members who were elected in the provincial assembly, they were supposed to vote. Now the situation was that in the provincial assembly, all the candidates of the Scheduled Caste Federation were defeated except the Jogindranath Mandal. Baba Sahib wanted to go there in the Central Assembly. For that, in fact, he went again to England and he met this Churchill also. Because during the World War, Churchill was the Prime Minister, but immediately thereafter, after this election, Churchill's party, which was a conservative party, they were voted out and the Labour Party came to power, and that time Attlee was the Prime Minister. Earlier, MacDonald was the Prime Minister of the Labour Party in 1932. He gave us the rights. But examining the entire political situation, although the Labour Party was in power in 1946 under the leadership of Prime Minister Attlee, they have denied us the separate electorate. And you see, that is why none of us were elected except Jogindranath Mandal. And then Jogindranath Mandal ensured the election of Baba Sahib to the Central Legislative Assembly, which is ultimately declared as a constituent assembly. Now here Jogindranath Mandal has played a very important historical role. Had he not got Baba Sahib elected from Bengal to the Constituent Assembly or Central Legislative Assembly, probably he would not have ultimately then become the chairman of the drafting committee, as you all know, because you see what happened thereafter. Thereafter, that part of the Bengal, from where Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar was elected to the Constituent Assembly, all those provinces from where he got the votes, in fact, the 5 votes were needed to get the member elected. Baba Sahib has got 7 votes. And all these 7 votes were managed by Jogindranath Mandal Sahib, Barrister Jogindranath Mandal, because he has a sweeping understanding of the masses of the Bengal, especially untouchables. So even some Congress, those who got elected on the Congress ticket in the provincial assembly, 3 members they were defected and they have voted Baba Sahib. One Birsa was also who was kidnapped by Congress people. He also came and voted. So Baba Sahib got 7 votes and he got elected. Now thereafter, since that province has gone to the Pakistan, the Baba Sahib's membership of the Central Legislative Assembly or Constituent Assembly got cancelled. And then Congress realized that we wanted this man in the Constituent Assembly because of his legal acumen and the vast knowledge of the various subjects which needs to be examined while framing the constitution. So they wanted him to be in the Constituent Assembly. And thereafter, Barrister Jaikar, who was elected from Mumbai General, he was asked to resign, and from there, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar got elected to the Constituent Assembly as a Bombay General. You see, this is very important. There was no reservation. He got elected from the general constituency, from Bombay also, from Bengal also. There he defeated, in Bengal, he defeated Sharat Chandra Bose, a brother of Subhash Chandra Bose. And all these members, they then the Constituent Assembly, and then Baba Sahib was a member of the advisory committee also. There were 50 members in the advisory committee in the Constituent Assembly, and Baba Sahib also one of the members of the advisory committee. And the chairman of the advisory committee was Patel. So all those history is there in the Constituent Assembly debates. One can read all that. But you see, ultimately, they had no person to draft the constitution. And then that responsibility was given to Baba Sahib. Now the Congress people all along has been telling that it is because of Gandhi, Dr. Ambedkar was given this responsibility. In fact, they had no person in the Congress. They went for searching a person abroad who will draft the Constitution of India. But ultimately, you see, again, the foreign constitutional experts, those who were constitutional experts abroad, they have said you have a man in India who is well acquainted with the various constitution of the world, different countries, and he has acumen and ability to frame the constitution. And why are you searching a man abroad? And therefore, since they had no alternative but to fall back upon the name of Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar. And then on 29th of August 29th August 1947, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar was made as the chairman of the drafting committee. Now coming back to this separate electorate, you see, Baba Sahib, when he was in the advisory committee, he had been demanding this. Now, as a chairman of the drafting committee, many things he cannot directly say. So, one of the members, I am not in a position to recall his name. He was from Madras Presidency, and through him, again a matter of separate electorate, and one Mr. Pillai also, two persons were there. They demanded that what about our political rights? And Baba Sahib wanted that the separate electorate should be there. So those two members, if you read the Constituent Assembly debates, you will find they have been demanding. And Baba Sahib, while addressing to his people outside the Constituent Assembly, when he was addressing his own people, he said, my own people in the advisory committee have not supported for the separate electorate. This I am telling you what is happened in 1947. Means not only in 1932 Baba Sahib was asking for the separate electorate, but even while framing the constitution, even in 1947 up to 1947, he was pursuing through other scheduled caste members that we should get a separate electorate, then only our right members will get elected to the house and they will fight for our socio-economic rights. But he has said at one place, my own people in the advisory committee has not supported the separate electorate, and that is why we are lost. From this central point, Mr. Khandekar has opposed. That lady from Madras constituency, Madras presidency, she has also opposed. As a result, because they were all Congress puppets. So what we have lost? We have lost the vital power, political power. Today, the condition which we are facing in India is only because we do not have our right representative in the legislature assemblies and in the parliament. They are the puppets of the ruling parties. They are the puppets of the Congress. They are the puppets of the BJP. And now that one new party has come up, trying to come up at the national level, one election in two states, Delhi and Punjab, they are the puppets of that party, AAP party. Now, this is a problem. So much so, the Republican Party, now they are sitting on the lap. Earlier they were sitting, this Ramdas Athavale, he was sitting on the laps of the Sharad Pawar and the Congress. And thereafter he shifted for his self-interest to BJP. He has become a member, but what about the masses? So they are become the puppets, and that is why all these problems. So much so, this BSP. See, nowadays the case is being fought in the Supreme Court against the 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act, wherein the reservation, 10% reservation is given to the economically weaker section. I, as a president of the People's Party of India, Democratic, filed a writ in the Supreme Court in the year, I think 2019. Immediately after that act was passed, we have filed a petition, and it is being now contested in the Supreme Court that it is illegal. It is constitutionally not valid. But you see, this BSP or Samajwadi Party, or for that matter, all other parties which are claiming to be even the Republican Party, who are claiming to be the Ambedkarite Party, whose job is to protect the rights of the 90% population of this country, they have voted in the parliament in favor of 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act. That shows we do not have our right representative either in the state assemblies or in the parliament, and that is why the socio-economic condition of our people is completely deteriorated. Nobody is speaking for them in the house. Although they may be a member of the scheduled caste, they may be a member of the other backward classes, but in the house, they simply keep mum. Only reason is their self-interest. That is why we have filed a case, and we hope that Dr. Mohan Gopal, Dr. Chauhan, Mr. Wilson from the DMK, and other legal luminaries who have interest to protecting the interest of the vast masses of our people. They are opposing in the Constitution. The hearing is going on. The last date, finally on 27th, will be the rejoinder will be filed by our advocates. They will get some time, and hopefully we win the matter. If we win the matter, this will give a better impetus to the People's Party of India Democratic, that this is a party. In the real sense, they are working for the cause of the entire 90% population, that is the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward classes, what we call them as a Mool Nivasi Gurujan Samaj. So this is all the political history, and this is the impact we are facing. The worst impact it is because we do not have our right representatives in the various political forum, which is a very important thing, because it is the political forum, they frame the laws, social laws, for the laws concerning our economic advancement, for making financial provision for our development, economic development. There we are absent. So unless we send our right representative, which was the demand of the Baba Sahib right from the 1932 or 1930, when he joined the political arena. So since then, this is the position. So unless we send our right representative in various political forums, our socio-economic condition will not be improved. Baba Sahib has kept a trust in the rulers of this country, and that is why on 25th November 1949 he has forewarned them. If you do not use this political democracy for establishing a social and economic democracy, the very same people will blow up this political democracy. Now, the rulers of this country must understand this. If they do not understand this, then it will be their peril. We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. We don't have anything, so we have nothing to lose. But if they do not realize this, it is ultimately they will be the ruler, and therefore the good sense must prevail on them. In the interest of their own interest and in the interest of the nation, they must give the socio-economic rights of the 90% population of this country, or else these 90% people, they will join one day or the other a party like People's Party of India Democratic and throw them out of the power and capture the power of this country. That is what I wanted to say on this occasion, and these are the implications of the what we call Poona Pact and political power, and the importance of the political power. Unfortunately, our people do not understand the importance of the political power. They don't know the power of this vote, and they are suffering even after the 72 years of the promulgation of the Constitution. With this, I conclude. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi.
Ji sir, very, very informative way you had explained the entire history of the political development that has been happened in India, and as far as the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes people are considered, how Dr. Ambedkar had fought for their political rights, and how it is very important to have the right people in the right place as far as the political area is concerned. And still, due to as we have not got the proper rights at proper time, still we are facing a problem, and that is the impact of Poona Pact, and still it is continued. Basically, it is continued in one form or other. So it is the means every person or every people of indigenous mass, they have to think in this particular aspect, and very well pointed out by you that they have to assert their votes in such a way that they themselves are in a position to dictate, and they themselves are in a position to rule this country if they want their real rights. Sir, we are really thankful to you for joining us today on this particular aspect of explaining Poona Pact and its socio-political impact. And also, there is a way out, which you have clearly explained how People's Party of India is democratic is fighting for the rights even in the constitutional area, and that is how at every aspects of life the political parties should fight. So definitely there is a way out, and people will think in this particular direction. Our viewers will think in this particular direction, and definitely they will work in this particular area which was kept aside for a long time. Thank you very much, sir, for joining MNT News Network Studio today. And once again, we will invite you on any specific other occasions to have your views, to explain to our viewers on any other different topic. Thank you very much, sir. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi.
Thank you, Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, Jai.
So that were Mulnivasi B.D. Borkar, sir, who had joined us today to explain us on the political impact, Poona Pact, and its socio-political impact, and how it has impacted today also, and what can be the way out. So definitely this was a very informative video, and the link of this video will be there in this particular link. So you all are requested to share this link in your entire social network, so that this information is passed on to one and all. Definitely this will be a very informative information. And as you all know, every Sunday we are organizing the discussions in English, but from Monday to Saturday we are organizing the discussions in Hindi. And tomorrow also we are going to discuss one important topic with Dr. Vijay Kumar Trisharan, sir, and the topic is लोकतंत्र भारतीय मूल की प्राचीन शासन पद्धति है. Loktantra, democracy, its roots had in our indigenous history. So definitely this will be a very important informative topic. So please join tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. And thank you very much for joining today. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, Jai Samvidhan, Jai Bharat.